Welcome back to the channel. Racer X here, and I am at the M1 Concourse in Pontiac, Michigan, basically reacting to what we saw last night, night 2 of Dodge's big unveilings. And this was their gateway offering, so to speak. And we saw them reveal essentially 3 different trims of their brand new Dodge Hornet. This is kind of their entry-level segment. They're shooting for a younger demographic with this offering. Well, today I'm going to cover all 3. There's hardly anybody here today, which is really nice. I've got access to all 3 of these vehicles. So today I want to just kind of rehash what he talked about last night on my live, kind of give you my thoughts on will the Hornet be a success or not. It should be a lot of fun. If you're new to my channel, please hit subscribe. That's located right down here in the corner. I have Instagram at RacerXOfficial as well, so follow me there. And off we go.
T-minus 15 seconds.
Now that things are not so chaotic around here and it's nice and quiet, I wanted to give you a better look at the brand new 2023 Dodge Hornet in all 3 trims. Now this is the RT that they showed us last night. This over here is the entry-level GT, and you see the guys over here, everybody's kind of funning around just a little bit. This over here is the GLH, or the Go Like Hell. This is the one you have to order directly from Direct Connection. So anyway, this is obviously this is kind of my favorite one. We can't get in these vehicles right now, but I can talk a little bit about them, just give you a much better look without a whole bunch of people out here today. And then I want to give you my thoughts. Will this vehicle be a success? Well, we'll find out. So first, let's unpack the Hornet GT, the entry level. One of the things that Tim talked about is the fact that they're trying to introduce this vehicle under $30,000. So we know we're looking for a completely different market segment than your traditional muscle car here, guys. So just keep that in mind. I saw a lot of comments coming in on the live last night about how disappointed they were and all this kind of stuff. Yes, it's not a big fire-breathing 1,000 horsepower V8, guys. I get that. We'll talk about that here in a minute. But let's talk about what it actually is. 265 horsepower and 295 torque coming out of this thing. And it is a 4-cylinder turbo. He called it the Turbo Hurricane. We already know they have an inline 6 Hurricane coming for some of their other offerings, at least most likely. Maybe we'll see that later tonight. But he mentioned it has more torque than the Pentastar, which is their offering in the V6 currently right now. Also, torque vectoring, limited slip diff, a Koni suspension, a 10.5-inch screen. He mentioned all of that stuff. And this one actually has an upgrade, a $3,000 upgrade to the track package, which gives you these big Brembos right here and the 20-inch wheels. Also gives you the Alcantara seats, which I may show you here momentarily. So obviously we know those are upgraded seats, and then aluminum trim. So $3 grand gets you that. So for an entry level, we'll say around 33 grand, maybe a little bit more with a couple bells and whistles. You get something like this. They did mention it has best in class handling as well. So this is going to be a darty little sucker. And this is something we have not really seen. Now, most people are going to say, look, this is just like the Tonale that's already offered in Europe. And you know what? If you said that, you'd be basically right, with the exception of the front end that they changed. So something to consider on this particular trim level. Now here is the driving position of the 2023 Hornet GT, and I will freely admit the seating position in this is quite nice, a little bit more sporty than what I'm used to in a lot of the traditional Dodges. The seats aren't nearly as big, but they are bolstered and they're still pretty comfortable, but very sporty. You can kind of get a look at what these seats look like. But the center console on this is actually quite nice. As I mentioned, a 10.25-inch screen here, so it is really nice and long. And certainly the center section here, it does look more modern than we've seen in a lot of the other Dodge products. Give you kind of a closer look at that, all your climate controls, good stuff like that. And then of course over here, you've got the Dodge emblem, which you see on the front of the car, and then your gauges. Unfortunately, I can't turn the car on right now, but at least this gives you a little bit of an idea. And then as we look here at the back seats, you can see they're not huge, but they're definitely functional. You've got that center part that folds down, and it's a pretty nice little place to sit here. So under the tarp here, we actually have the next trim level up. This is the Hornet RT. This is the most powerful compact crossover on the market. We heard Tim say that last night. And this is also the first electrified Dodge out there. So you can see this one does have the bigger Brembo brakes on it. And there are a couple other things about this more interesting in terms of power. 1.3 liter turbo, and he mentioned E-axle. That's where this thing gets extra torque. So when we talk about the numbers on this thing, 285 horsepower, and 383 pound-feet of torque. So significantly more torque, almost, what are we at? Like 90 more pound-feet of torque on this. And it is all due to those electric motors that are in this. 1.3 liters of turbo, that's not a big displacement at all. That's actually quite small. But when you add electric motors to the mix, guys, things change a little bit. And he mentioned that this thing has something else called Power Shot. So it's like a little 25 horsepower volt, if you will. You just push a button. He called it push to pass as well. I'll show you this Hornet badge on the back of this. And he kind of alluded to the factor in the live that it's almost a little bit like nitrous. He said it takes a full second off the 0 to 60 time in this vehicle. So that is another little interesting thing they added to this. And 30 miles it will go on just the electric battery. So suppose you ran out of gas, this thing would still get you to the gas station. 75 miles per gallon on this Hornet. That is pretty impressive. So what are my honest thoughts about the brand new Dodge Hornet for 2023? A lot of people said, look, I wasn't expecting this at all with this, gateway reveal. This is basically exactly what I expected. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is the fact that at no point yet has Dodge come out and said, look, we simply aren't going to make the Charger or Challenger moving forward. Yes, we have the new EV reveal coming tonight, which you'll see live on my channel, but they've never come out and said, look, we're not going to make Charger and Challenger anymore. They've simply talked about the big V8s going away. So, we've talked about an inline 6 Hurricane engine that could go in and possibly make more power than a Scat Pack actually most likely will. So I think that we just have to kind of wait and see what else they have coming down the pipe for us. Now, in terms of the Hornets, this is an entry-level thing. He mentioned it in the press conference, guys. I'm looking to go after a market segment that we really just don't touch. And I've always mentioned this. Dodge would not be able to build the big horsepower, big muscle, all the stuff that we know and love, the gearheads of the world. Guys like me, a lot of the folks that are watching this, you just want the big rumbly V8 and anything else just won't do. And we've got all these weird pressures and stuff coming down. But Dodge needs these kind of vehicles in order to be able to make the big power stuff that we all know and love. And they have to be able to move units at some point, guys. And I saw comments coming in just like crazy. Oh, I absolutely hate that. What is Dodge doing? Dodge is dead. It's not a big V8, and so Dodge is going to die. Just give it a second, guys. Let it breathe. These things are designed to be, darty. They're designed to be fun. They're designed to kind of go after a younger demographic, as Tim mentioned. And, I think they do have kind of a cool, fun factor to them. Am I the kind of person that would run out and buy one? Maybe not. I think the RT could be fun if I could drive one just to kind of see how it drove, to see if it really is darty. Maybe something that would be a good daily. But that's really what they're looking for. This isn't for the hardcore muscle car guy. That is not what this was intended for at all. And will Dodge move units of these? Absolutely. And I know this is, supposed to look like the Alfa Romeo. It basically is the Alfa Romeo Tonale, so to speak, with maybe a little bit different badging and a different hood on it, but it's basically the same vehicle. And maybe this was some pressure put on by the folks at Stellantis to say, hey, look, you guys need this in order to be able to build all of the fun stuff. So let's take just a little bit different look at things. This doesn't mean that, I'm in love with this, but at the same time, I drive one. I would just kind of see how it did. I'd like to see how it performs and give you guys a review at some point. Maybe here in the future I can tell you how that thing drives. But for now, we just kind of have to be a little bit patient and realize that this is a different market segment they're going after than the traditional hardcore guys that like to race, that like the big power, tire shredding. That's not this. It's all-wheel drive, which is pretty cool for the masses. That's really what this is made for. So do I hate the Hornet? No, I don't hate the Hornet. I know what Dodge is trying to do. Whatever factors are involved with it, I know what they're trying to do, and I know what they need to do. They need to build something that's going to move a lot of units, something that will appeal to a demographic segment that they just simply don't touch right now. And that's what this is. Time will tell whether or not the Hornet is a success. So tonight should be a lot more fun when they start revealing the future of muscle. There's no guarantee that they won't reveal something else other than the EV tonight. So we're all just kind of waited with bated breath to see what they come out with. Let me know what you think about the Hornet. I'm trying to be pretty open-minded about this, guys. So many people are very close-minded. If it doesn't have a big fire-breathing V8, I hate Dodge all day. And what do you do? I mean, the world is changing. People are resistant to change. I get it. But let's see what else they have in store for us. Tonight is really the big night, guys. It really is. Tonight is the night really everybody's been waiting on. let's see what they have for us. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and I'll catch you on the next one. So until then, Racer X.